Hi everyone, welcome to my home studio. I'm here with an amazing Yamaha recording custom drum set from the 90s, and I recently posted a drum solo that I played on this exact drum kit, and it's gone like crazy. So thanks for the appreciation, thanks for the comments. I decided to share with you how this drum kit is made, the sizes, the drum heads I used, the tuning, the cymbals and stuff. But first, if you haven't seen the video, please check that out so you can hear how this beauty sounds. And if you like it, please consider subscribing, because I'm gonna be posting more of these videos. I have more drum kits and they are very interesting, so I'm gonna be playing some more drum solos, and I'm gonna be talking to you about the technical stuff that drummers love. So if you're okay with this, please stick with me until the end of the video, because I'm gonna walk you through this amazing set of drums. Let's go. Here's the drum set. I'm gonna talk to you about sizes, drum heads and tuning, and then I'm gonna tell you about microphones and the mic configuration, so you can get a full picture of how I obtain that type of sound that you can hear in the video. I have here an 8x8, 10x10, 12x10 tom-toms, 16x16 floor tom, and a 18x14 bass drum. The snare drum is 14 by 6.5, it's made of brass, and this is also a recording custom, but it's not from the 90s. It's the newer model they made, because they didn't make these back in the days. The funny story behind this one, that it's already like a huge sound that I love within this kit. The funny story behind this snare drum is that I bought it from Lionel Lewis. I mean, not directly from him, but he used this exact snare drum during a tour with Snarky Puppy back in 2017 probably. Yamaha gave all the instrument he used to a shop, and I bought it second-handed, so it was even discounted. This story is adding even more magic to this amazing kit. As you can see here, all the drum heads are coated. They're all single ply, also the bass drum, same. I like to have the same type of drum heads on every shell, so I can get like the same type of tone out of them. There's no muffling on the tom-toms. I just have a small amount of tape here on the floor tom, and the same on the better head of the bass drum, so to take away the highest overtones, and a small piece of gel here on the snare drum. The bass drum is empty. I just have a Remo muffling system inside, leaning against the better head, and the resonant head has no hole in it. So talking about tuning, I realized that something is slightly different from the drum solo, but I just want to talk about the concept, the idea behind, so it's not really important. Probably this one is slightly higher than the video, but it's okay. The point is, when I tune, I try to get harmony between the shells, so when I play, I hear melodies, and the melodies give me a direction to the solo and a place to go. So it's really important to me how the drum kit sounds, because it gives me ideas, actually. And here, I realized I have like an F major chord going on, being this one the fundamental tone, and hear this. Okay, better. And this one is like an octave above, so you can hear that. And in between I have a 5th grade, so you can hear the scale going up, and it goes up one step with a 3rd grade, so above the fundamental tone. And this is a major 3rd, so. And the snare drum sits right in the middle of the 10 and the 8. It's like a 2nd degree on the scale, or a 9th if you prefer. It's not something that I, made on purpose, but I found it like this, and it's pleasing to my ears, so this is how it's going on. Probably you can have, different degree on the scale, but I would recommend to, hear that the drums are in tune with the others, not only with the single drum. I mean, you have to get in tune, you don't have to get unpleasing overtones from a drum, but you have to be careful of the relationship between the single drums and how they interact. So you don't need to have an F scale, you don't need to have an F major, it can be an F minor, it can be a G minor, whatever, but make sure all the drums are in a good relationship between the other ones. The last one is the bass drum. I try to tune that a little bit different from these because these are medium high pitched, kind of high tension. And I use this because it gives me a sound that it's less recognizable. I mean, this drum kit sounds amazing, but it has really something recognizable from the 90s. And I don't like that sound very much. So with a higher tuning and this kind of drum heads, it loses that kind of recognizable sound and it gives me a more open tone and something that I like more. The bass drum, though, it's tuned a little bit different because it's lower tension. I tune both the better head and the resonant head to the point where they can't get any lower. Otherwise, you get wrinkles in the drum head, and that's not good. So better is just tense enough, and then resonant the same, so I can get like the lowest tone possible without losing the note. It's gonna get you a long tail, so it's a full rounded sound, but it's not like a punchy, dry sound. It's something different. But this type of sound, being this an 18-inch bass drum, gives me the bottom end that is missing, a longer tone that is perfectly blended with, you know, the tone that I get from the tom-toms, floor toms and stuff. I'm gonna play some notes on the bass drum so you can hear how also this sounds. And here we go. So if you like this type of tuning, please let me know in the comment section. I want to know also if you want to share how you tune your drums, and that would be interesting to know. And now I'm going to talk to you about the microphones. So this one you see here should be up there. This is a Lewitt LCT440 Pure, and this is a Sound Electronics SE5. I have a Shure SM57 here and a Shure Beta 52 for the bass drum resonant. And so nothing special about these two, but the real magic is happening here. So guys, I really suggest you use this technique because this is what's strange. This should be up there and you should get a stereo image of your overheads, you know, by placing, I don't know, X, Y or far apart, but you should measure them from the snare drum so this can be the center of your stereo image. And this is exactly what I did here, but I used it in the Glyn-Johns configuration. So you measure the distance here from the top one, and the top one is facing straight above the snare drum and the hi-hat. So you have a center image here, but the other guy is going here and not over there. You have to measure the distance. So this still is your center of the stereo image. The difference is that this one is very close to this one, and it's facing the tom-toms like from an equal distance with respect to the cymbals. Whereas when you place this one over there, you're gonna get lots of cymbal sound and less definition on the tom-toms. So this one can give you more detail and more definition from the tom-tom sound, and this is really a nice configuration. You should try that out and let me know if you tried it or if you've ever tried it, and let me know what you think about it. I really like it because it gives me exactly the sound that I need using only 4 channels. I have my ID44 from Audient audio interface. For now, I just have 4 inputs, so this is the best solution I had. It's not super cheap because that's a good audio interface, and this is kind of a good microphone. Even if for the quality it has, it's amazing. I mean, you should check this out, definitely. You may be wondering how I mixed and master, you know, the drum solo, and I should tell you just this. I start from the overheads, and then I blend in a slightly compressed snare drum and the resonant of the bass drum to get the full bottom end, and this is it. I mean, the kit is sounding good because this room is treated. I treated it myself, building these panels above here, bass traps you see there. If you have a good sounding kit and you can play it quite good, and you have good microphones and a good audio interface, the only thing that can mess things up is a bad sounding room. This one is quite okay. Without even mixing anything, I get a nice sound. And what I do is just, I take away frequencies that I don't like. So my EQ is just subtractive, and it's not something that goes into coloring that much. Okay, the right amount of compression, and that's it. I mean, I don't even use reverbs. I didn't use anything. I just use a small gentle transient designer on the bass drum because it's lacking a little bit of, of attack. And that's it. 4 microphones, audio interface, something that goes slightly less than 1,000 euros. So quite affordable, but the results to me are just incredible. So this is what I do, and this is what I love to do. So thanks for watching, and this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. And if you have any question at all, please type it in the comment, and I'm gonna be answering to you. Make sure that notification button is turned on so you won't miss the next video, and see you there. Bye bye.